Right, Rajan Naidu, how are you on Facebook? Rajan Naidu says hi. I'm on one channel, other channel is gone off, back on now. Yes, we are on 3 channels. Good evening, welcome. Where's my notes? Just doing some. Welcome. Where's my notes? Just doing some. Another guy who used to say one welcome to me, but ended up being a fucking backstabber like you can't believe. But anyways, we leave that topic for another day. Eugene says, what kind? Shammy's biggest fan. Indeed I am, Eugene, you can see that. For 1 year now, just today, I would say this month, I can't be the exact date, exactly 1 year. 23rd October will be 1 year since this drama started. Actually 23rd of October. Randy, say what you want. Tickets. Old ones. Huh? No, tell mom that guy's got the tickets with him. Doesn't need new tickets. How you doing? Welcome. Sorry, my son was here trying to get something from me. After this month, you need to send them an invoice for marketing and promotion work. Indeed, you're so right. But yeah. Now I'm trying to drink this because straight away now my sinuses are... I'm going to have a hot drink. My wife's bringing me a hot milk coffee without sugar. How you, DMCA? Why did you come to see me? Let's just put right, donate, give it a break. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday edition. It's the 10th of October. It's me, Casey, Caro Charo Live. I don't know if the Sutmaris are watching, but some people are on some other channels, but I'm here. Are you ready to record? Press the record button. Kritika, are you ready to do my introduction? Let me know, and then we can go. So, because Kritika screen records my introductions that I can use later on. Shirley Reddy says, Shirley's on Facebook. How are you, Shirley? DMCA on from, I'm just reading the comments from Chatsworth. Like I said, live streaming on I was waiting for that actually. Live streaming on 3 platforms, 2 TikTok channels and 1 Facebook platform. How many other influencers do that? I can actually go live on 4 platforms, by the way. 3 TikTok and 1 Facebook. But then I'll need another phone. Right, hello Kritika, are you ready for my introduction? Just press record. Because she just does the recording for me. Right guys, good evening and welcome. It's Tuesday the 10th of October. And today's show brought to you by Petisco. Petisco wood-fired pizza, as well as Portuguese style chicken and pizza and chicken and prawns, grills, situated Lagoon Drive in Umhlanga. Also, if you're fasting, they've got their brand new vegetarian pizzas, and I was there doing a baked beans pizza, which was fantastic. Tell us, should not be done now. Thank you, Kritika. DM. He was working, okay. Right. So, wife brought me the popcorn, but I asked for tea, but she brought me popcorn. Well, the tea is here as well. And I asked for milk tea, then she bring me black tea. Here we go. So, black tea with no sugar, and then she brought me some popcorn to roll. There we go. Right, so where are we sitting at? And thank you, Kritika, can send me the screenshot of that. Like I said, 10th of October. The governor says, hello, brother Casey. Hello. Right, let me now put this date to you, by the way. How's it, Casey? Brad Varley says, I'm not going to mention other names that have joined us on this platform, but welcome everybody. We've got white people, we've got black people, we've got all sorts of people on the platform. Welcome to it. What's the topic? Bina. Welcome, Bina Harisankar, retired school principal, someone I knew from back in the day, met her recently at a function as well. And might I say, looking very good for your age, darling, aged very well. And yeah, I knew her from years back now, retired principal, contributed immensely to the schooling of especially kids in Chatsworth. So well done to you. Right, V Governor, what's up? Let's leave it as a bit of an open channel for today. The only thing I want to talk about is all sane people welcome. All sane people, Chutmalis, all not Kritika, Chutmalis are also welcome. Let them watch, because they can't watch their own channels and they won't watch their own people. They're going to watch me. So why not watch me? Kevin Reddy says, evening members. Good evening, good evening, good evening, Kevin. And welcome to it. Before I go into great detail or something else, but let me just get other people to join, and then I'll get into a topic that I started the other day and said I'll get into it. Sunil says, how's it, KC? By the way, Facebookers, I'm also live streaming on other channels, so I've got to look at you, look at them, and read comments from 3 platforms and try to keep everyone in the game. Also greet everyone. MKSMTN says, KC, what cab you drive? You know that question, thank you for this. Let's just talk about that. That question just fucking pisses me off like you cannot believe. What the fuck difference does it make what fucking car I drive? I'm just going to fucking block you now, right? You know that's coming. You know it's coming, right? Because I can't allow somebody with such a low brain capacity on my platform. Really, it's an insult to me even to have you here. So please fuck off quietly, but we'll talk about you and what you just asked me. This happened to me years ago as well. What difference does it make what car you drive? Does it carry any relevance? Unless you're a small-minded fucking chut, or materialistic chut. Small-minded, small penis, materialistic chut, because maybe your car covers up for your, like a small penis syndrome. Was just wondering if your mother is Zedin. Oh, is that why you asked the question? But it's still irrelevant. Whether mother Zedin is my car or not, it's all irrelevant. I don't talk about my car. I don't talk about my cars. I don't brag about what I got, what I haven't got. It's all irrelevant. It's not what you drive, it's who you are. But let me tell you a story. My wife might be listening to this, but it was years before I even met her, so she can't get upset with me, whatever, right? So, I remember back in the day, and I was in my early 20s, right? And I was moving with actually I had an old style combi, like a combi, right? I'm moving single in a combi, and then I had this chick, and that time quite a good looking chick from a neighboring school, right? Everybody wanted to jam her, right? You know, that time school story, whatever. And so I took this chick out, and I remember going to the beachfront. It was Joe Cool's that time, right? That area there. And so I'm parking in this van with this chick moving out, and in this car would, like a BMW drop top, the music is fucking pumping, and all the fucking jamming in the car. And I looked at her, and I felt so scum in this VW Beetle combi, right? It was VW combi, right? And then I said to her, look at them. And you know what she said to me? Even that time, I think we were both in matric or something, or just after matric it was, right? Or she was in matric, I was a year after that, or 2 years after that. And she said to me, yeah, they may have a good car and all of that, but you got a chick with you. Okay, I can't remember what, but what she's actually saying is, although they had the car and they had the music and they had everything going, she said, but you got a chick and they don't have, and which is true. They were moving all outies and I was moving with a chick, and a hot chick at that time, by the way, I might add. Yeah, so she's she was younger than me, but made me feel good. Like, you know, you didn't need to have the car to have a hot chick or whatever. And all the ladies moving in the fucking drop top BM were fucking moving alone. Good evening, Balan Vengasamy, how are you? That's a good story to share. I wish my wife heard the story. Maybe I'll hear about it when I go to bed tonight, because, you know, she must be recording. Whatever happens. Popcorn. Good evening, Ryan. Welcome, Ryan. You're late. I'm on now for how many minutes? 10 minutes. Younger in the car, a better plan, more flexible. Eugene, not talk like a big boy, Eugene. Hello, Shoba, how are you? What Shoba is that? From Peter Marisburg. The popcorn is nice, but lovely salt. And I'm drinking sugarless tea. Like mother's milk. Watching your early TikToks. Oh, okay, do you watch them? Okay, I don't know if people go back and watch those things. I just released a video now. Go and watch that. and come back and tell me. Or give me your comments. And thanks, Ryan, for watching my other TikToks. Lots of things to be done. Got my shows coming up next week. Oh, by the way, that show is Battle of the Bands. I'm back into the live music scene. I did a show in Sabaya, a very successful show in Sabaya, about 8 years ago, called Battle of the Bands. And sold out the first set of 3 shows, sold out again, came back the next year, sold out again. Very successful. Till I ended up having a problem with the bands. Yeah, Sugarcane on the weekend. Kritika is saying, by the way, the weekend I spent time in New Guilderland, which is Tanger, essentially sugarcane plantation. Such an eye-opening experience, by the way. I've never really been in a sugarcane plantation. So, it was like driving through, in between the sugarcane fields and whatever. Okay, I heard there are sugarcane rats and pigs, wild pigs, running around there. Never saw them though. You are surrounded by sugarcane. Snakes. No, not much snakes. Certain areas have snakes. Okay, before we move on to other topics later on, which I will, let me talk to you something about, okay, I'll be introducing it in my daily talks on TikTok. Kane that at the top chow. I wouldn't know. I alluded to this last week in one of my shows when I started talking a bit about politics, which I would say I'm back in the game. Not back. I'm taking more interest now that I have a little bit more time. Okay, somebody asked me any updates on the Mahasabha. Yes, actually, let me answer that question. I was supposed to put out a video. The Mahasabha, there's a guy named Lokesh Maharaj. Lokesh Maharaj. So, if some of you don't know what the Mahasabha issue is all about, I've laid an official complaint with the South African Hindu Mahasabha regarding Shami Singh, questioning whether Shami Singh is a legitimate, authentic guru, and asking for comment on the comments he made about me, about being satanic and demonic and all of that. So I've laid an official complaint, I think 2 weeks back, with the Mahasabha. I shared that on all my platforms, the letter that I sent. There were a few spelling errors here and there. And then I got a hold of a guy named Lokesh Maharaj. Lokesh Maharaj is the chairperson of the HCOP, Hindu Council of Priests. So there's a separate body under the wing umbrella of the Mahasabha called the Hindu Council of Priests, which have to do with priests essentially. So a very dedicated body. I got a call today, Lokesh Maharaj, after sending him the stuff last week. I called Lokesh Maharaj this morning and he confirmed with me that he's got my letters and that it's tabled for this week to meet with Ashwin Chickamji. Now Ashwin Chickamji is seen as the head of the Mahasabha. I think he's the president of the Mahasabha, but he's seen as that kind of thing. And Mourinho is back. And so the good thing is the Mahasabha is going to be looking at it. What they're going to do about it, I can't tell you. What I can tell you is, whatever they do or don't do is going to impact on the Mahasabha. The Mahasabha can choose to do nothing. That's their choice as a body. Then it's okay, because it means it will play into the story or the allegation that the Mahasabha is indeed toothless, that the Mahasabha can do nothing, that the Mahasabha can do fuck all, as some people say, right? Then we might be caught out and say the Mahasabha actually takes action. The Mahasabha may actually have to issue a statement. So either way, I think the Mahasabha is going to be in a bit of a situation, because if they say something, it's going to be important. If they don't do anything, it's going to be equally important. Because sometimes not saying something, which will lead me to my next conversation quite well, not saying something or not reacting is a reaction in itself, or an answer in itself, but not saying anything. So, which brings me to my next topic. And I was thinking about that today. I was thinking about voting, and because I came out of a conversation with someone who said, no, they're not voting. registered voter not voting. Now, let me stop eating popcorn. Here's what I came up with. Maybe I'm the first one to say this, I don't know. If you're a registered voter and you're not voting, or you refuse to vote, you are indeed voting. Can I say that again? If you are a registered voter and you're not voting, you are still voting. You are voting for things to stay the same. You're not voting for change. Because by not voting, by abstaining, you are saying, I'm happy with the status quo, nothing can change, I'm okay with it. That's what you're doing. Tell me I'm wrong. Someone can debate me on that one? By not voting, you're actually voting. The worst is if you qualify to be a voter and you don't register to be a voter, you're also voting. If you qualify to be a voter, if you qualify to be registered to be a voter and you don't register to be a voter, then you're also voting. Because you're also taking your vote and saying, keep it with you're actually saying, I'm happy with the status quo. I'm happy with the way things are. Correct? So some guys, I'm correct. There we go. Our guys are saying 100% correct. 100% correct. So I'm going to try in the next couple of weeks and months to try and move you guys. Those over 18 that don't vote, put us in trouble we are today. Yes, exactly. Thank you, love and life. If you're not voting, and we have people, registered voters don't vote, ultimately goes to, yes, Big Ben. Thank you, Big Ben. Welcome back. Absolutely, says DJ Sums. Not voting is a vote. It's a vote for by default. Yes, by default, it is a vote. So, when you say, you'll find people say, my vote doesn't make a difference. It's making a fucking difference. 10 people don't vote. 20, 30, 100, 200, 500, 1,000, 2,000. Elections are lost on 500, 1,000 votes. Elections are won and lost on numbers like that. Whether it's in city council, whether it's in a meeting, whatever. Elections are won and lost. In a national election, it can be 10,000, 20,000 votes, which is in a population of 59 million. I think there's 30 million registered voters or something like that. I don't have the numbers. DJ Sum said that's why they say vote for change, no vote, no change. It doesn't mean it's going to change if you vote, but at least you're making an attempt to change the situation, which a lot of people don't want to do. Because I'm not sure about the other communities, right? But I'm going to say this about our Indian community from what I know. And I think it's with other communities as well. Some of us are just fucking apathetic. Apathetic. We don't care two shits about... How many of you know people who don't care two shits about the politics of this country? They don't care two fucks. They just living their life, they're carrying on, like everything is like, not bothered. Do you know people like this? Let me hear. I know people like that. Living their life, man, they don't need to bother. Politics is not important to them. Fuck those oars, fuck these oars. Nah, they only steal our money. Like, 40% of registered voters did not vote in local government. They would have made a difference. Yes, 40%, there we go. I'm not sure that's right. No action, only complaint. Charos are full of do fuck all, but want to complain. If you don't vote, you lose. Do you agree with me? If you don't vote, you actually almost lose your right to complain. Because you voted for that. So not guaranteed to win. How do you know the votes are not freed? Well, you don't know that. That's the thing. Yeah, here we talk about Palestine. Look, Palestine is important issues, but we got to shit in our own backyard. I'm not just saying we must ignore Palestine. But then sometimes, why don't we say it? Like what Gaten McKenzie was saying. Screw the guys in other countries, screw those coming here. Don't give them anything. Worry about ourselves first. Why is it wrong to say that? Time to stand up. Hey, you're making me hungry. What you chowing? I'm eating popcorn. Nice and healthy. Popcorn and sugarless tea. If you don't vote, you don't have the right to complain. Yes. People others to vote, they are sit and watch. That's right. People on election day sitting at the posy watching movies, having a braai, not going to vote. They don't care. Apathetic, apathy. Look, I would say this, and Kritika knows I talk about the power of one. The power of one. Eugene says if you don't pay taxes, you have no right to complain. Obviously. But what if you pay taxes and you don't vote? Like you. Eugene. Eugene pays his taxes and Eugene doesn't vote. Am I right, Eugene? So, I wouldn't say you lose the right to complain because you're a taxpayer. So I had that in the back of my head when I was saying that. But still you lose the right to complain because you've chosen to stay where you are. Casey must register to vote and go and that's what I'm doing. As I'm talking, I call it the power of one. If I could move you to move one person in your family, with your wife, job done. Sort your own house out before. Exactly. Those who don't vote are more culprits, bitch and moan. Exactly. Those are the biggest complainers. We think we complain on TikTok, but we actually do nothing more. Yep. TikTok and whatever, go on social media, make noise, but Okay. Let's take Indians. So, let me say this, right? So, I started this conversation last week. I am going to push people to register to vote. Last week I started, let me start it again. So that others who join us know. Who do you think, or who would you vote for? Now I'm talking to my predominantly Indian people because Indians have a specific place in this country. Right? Don't mess with the popcorn. Yeah, you saw popcorn falling all over. So, who do you see as the party? Come 2024, it's a whole new ballgame. So let me tell you, 2024 is a game changer in South African politics. Can I say, if you didn't do that, let me tell you. Game changer in South African politics. 2024. If you're eligible to register, go and register to vote. 2024, game changer. It's the only time the ANC has been at its absolute weakest. Its absolute weakest. Right? So, who do you feel is the party? And I'm not talking about the country. I'm talking about the minority. Which party do you think has your interest or would have your interest and heart as an Indian minority? And don't tell me Minority Front. Love and Life says, Action SA for me. The only party that can change SA is a KC old school party. No one says Eugene. Eugene obviously doesn't see anyone. Okay, Eugene. In the land of the blind, which cockeyed person would you pick? Eugene, in the land of the blind, which cockeyed person will vote for KC if you had one? Yeah. I know the system is broken. I'm telling you, in the land of the blind, somebody here is saying UIM, De Beer, DMC is saying IFP. Eugene is saying the system is broken. Next biggest party besides ANC. What kind DJ Shiv? Who would you vote for? So Ryan says, okay, so as long as you're going to vote, Joyce Naidoo says ANC. Joyce, are you serious? Maybe she is. DA is a special one. I know that Charles, so let me, I don't want to shit on the DA. I did say some shit about, not shit about, I didn't express myself that I'm not a DA person. But their love and life has spoken out already. What has the DA done for the voters in Phoenix and Chatsworth who gave, by the way, the fact that the DA has power in KZN and is going to have more power in KZN has to do with the Indian vote. In my opinion. What has the DA, let's start with the DA. What has the DA done for Phoenix and Chatsworth? No, I'm not doing Pak for the post because I'm in court and nobody fucking cares I'm in court. ANC is the only group that can govern. Nothing. Ryan is asking, but you want to vote for the DA, Ryan? You said you're going to vote for the DA. And don't talk about politics at the top. Eugene, in the land of the blind, you have to choose a king. Who would you choose? Which cockeyed person? DA running Western Cape. Well, that's the only thing we know about DA in the Western Cape. But he's the devil, you know. Yeah, well, indeed. If the DA can do the same to KZN, but why haven't they done anything? Why haven't they done something in KZN that's... Is it because they're not governing? They must come into government to make changes? So let me tell you a spin-off on that, and the bad side of that is, the Indian areas that voted for the DA are now being fucked up by the ANC because they said, you guys fucking voted for the DA, so fuck you. Tell me that hasn't happened. Vincent, Kitty says, I do believe papas can make a difference. DA will fix Belito once they say why. Exactly. I can see it happening, by the way. I missed my train of thought. I don't know how are you. I forgot what I was saying. I have a reason for ANC, but definitely worked DA for me. I was asking you this. Did any of you ever realize that the fact that the Indian community voted for the DA? Yes, correct. DA was get no service delivery. Do you know that voting for the DA has actually worked against you? As the Indian community. Because they knew Chatsworth Phoenix voted for the DA. So the service delivery in those areas is almost non-existent. It's a fact. You see, when you take in a request and go to city council or whatever to clean the parks, do this, do that, it's, oh, Chatsworth Phoenix, oh, you fuckers, I will show you, we do it, but you're coming last on the list. Tell me that's not true. If you don't think it's true, then you're living in cuckoo land. It's been happening for years, last 10 years. They know the Charos vote for the DA. They know you vote for the DA. So it hasn't helped you any good. The only time you think it can help you is when they take over, if they take over. So anyways, I'll see where this conversation goes, right? I have been disillusioned with the DA for my own personal reasons. Regan says, kindly note, you vote DA, sell the seats for power, not to change the country. So I'm going to talk my own personal experience. The DA disappointed me and disillusioned me for my own reasons. I found that the DA is a party I can't trust because I saw them operating in the background. I saw them, the leadership, not behaving in an ethical way. And if you don't behave in an ethical way in that sense to deal with matters bubbling under... By the way, if you think the DA is the perfect, they got shit happening with them. Even with Megan Chetty, there's a massive water scandal in Chatsworth where the DA is involved. Right? There's a DA involved. So, there's a massive water scandal where the DA is involved. They're not fucking all that. Right? So, let's just say that. So, my own personal issue, I used to vote for the DA, I'm not. And then I found myself in the last year or so in a bit of limbo. I had my own court matters and all shit to deal with. Then I said, I'm politically, I need to be in politics. Not in politics as a person, but I need to be involved or knowing what's happening. Not only for myself, but for my son and the future of this country. So I found myself in this, trying to find a party that suits me. Trying to find a party that I find maybe have a solution. So, in that space, certain things happened. I ended up here, I ended up there. And then I said, okay, why didn't I consider this more seriously? And DMCA is mentioning it on his platform there. I think, for me, I'm inclined towards the IFP. So let me just say it. I spent time with them at a function recently. And the thing is, I knew people from the IFP a long time ago who are still with the IFP. And I started to dig a bit more into the IFP as to what they are, what they bring, what value they bring, why the IFP. And one of the first things I come up with is that the IFP is one of the only parties that doesn't have, I wouldn't say it doesn't have, you don't see corruption linked to the IFP. You don't hear of the IFP councillors having a lot. Well, I haven't heard of any of them in great corruption issues, waras. Actually, coming from meeting Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, from him going down, the IFP ruled or governed eThekwini in the first elections, I think, after 1994. Clean audits, I think 1 or 2 terms, and then they were taken out. So I'm going to take you on this journey. I wouldn't say, I'm still researching. I wouldn't say I know it all or whatever, and I'm going to convince you, and I don't want to convince you. So I'm, like I said, some people are asking questions. I don't know it all. I'm going to meet with officials from the IFP. I'm going to meet with them and see what the IFP is capable of doing. What has the IFP done? Good question from Special One. I don't know what they've done actually. What I'm saying is that I was looking for a political home. I couldn't find anyone that suited me. And then I went to the IFP as being a party of, I think, good standing. Let me put it that way. Good standing. What they've done, I'm still researching. I know what they haven't done. They haven't done shit. They haven't done like major shit. So I'm introducing it. Let me put it that way. I'm taking you on my journey. One of the main reasons why I started to consider the IFP was I met with Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi after the July unrest. I had a one-on-one talk with the late Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi. And in his apartment, I think it was Edward in Durban, in his apartment or hotel room. And I've still got a clip of that here and there, I think. And one of the biggest things for me was he was the only leader to speak on behalf of the Indian people. That's all. That was something that, for me, now, going forward in KZN, I am trying to figure out, I'm not interested in Joburg, I'm not interested in the country, and I said this before on the live platform. I'm interested in what happens in KZN, in Durban, for Charos, Indian people. And you see how I'm thinking a bit more than, I'm not worried about Cape Town, I'm not worried about fucking Joburg, I'm not worried about any of them. I'm worried about Durban. Because you see, one of the biggest problems that the unrest taught us is this Indo-African sort of tension. The tension that, and I'm going to say it, that the ANC created, the tension to keep blacks and Indians apart and have this tension. And the ANC did it in the unrest. So we as a people need to forge better relationships or understandings with our black counterparts in this province. And the IFP is, I think, the leading political party amongst the black community in this country. And really, what I can say is, it's a non-violent party. Can I put it that way? I haven't heard okay, of course, they've been accused of in those days, in the apartheid days or pre-apartheid, all of that. But post, he's not been, or the IFP hasn't been seen to be a militant party. Now, the way I'm seeing it is, I'm trying to forge a relationship or be with a party that, for future, look, if the leader housed a love or compassion or understanding of the Indian community. So, I know there are black people listening, white people, colored people listening, but I'm going to be very honest with you. My only concern is my community. You can call me, because during the July unrest, it was clear the Charos were on their fucking own. During the July unrest, the Charos were on their own. Nobody fucking cared. Everybody threw us to the wolves. Mangosuthu Buthelezi, God rest his soul, was the only person to speak about, only person to stand in the corner of the child. For that, that's got points with me. That resonates with me. And if the leader at that point spoke that, which means it came down into the party of what the people speak there. I haven't had one IFP councillor come out and, like, during the unrest, let's just stick to the unrest, because the unrest was a clear indication of where we stand as a community, as a population group in South Africa. So first, let's answer the question. Do you agree with me that the Indian community was on their own? I felt the loneliest. I felt ostracized. Every radio station, every news station was calling Indian racist, Indian racist, Indian racist. Indians are racist. Tell me I'm wrong. I'll give you a minute. It made my fucking blood boil. It made my blood boil. We were thrown to the wolves. We were fucking... Who stood up for us? Which one person stood up for us? In fact, the ANC threw us to the dog. The DA came later on trying to piggyback off something. Then when the ANC fucked them, they took their banners out and they ran away. Tail between their legs. The DA didn't stand their ground. The DA said they are heroes, and then when the ANC made a complaint, they took their banners out and they ran away, put the tail between their legs. So is that the DA? Same DA you talked about. The same DA who couldn't stand up. Why? Because they thought those people had done the wrong thing. The guys were imprisoned. Did the DA and their councillors in Phoenix fight for those people that were imprisoned? Illegally, might I add. Kept without bail. Did they fight? No, but we voted for them. Phoenix voted for the DA. Chatsworth voted for the DA. So I'm not saying I got all the answers. I'm not even saying the IFP is the answer. All I said was, I'm researching. I'm in a space of trying to find a space. I'm looking for a political home, so to speak. A home that looks after me and my people. Where I have a voice. Do you have a voice with the DA? Does Phoenix and Chatsworth and the community of India have a voice with the DA? Now I know Naren Singh is one of the top dogs. I know somebody there. I know somebody there. I know another guy, Les, I know somebody long, he's 20, 30 years. Casey, not much time left, election on the corner. No, not much time for who? There's enough time to register. DA don't give voice to anyone. So, who's representing the Charos on a top level of the DA? I can tell you that top level Charos at IFP. I can tell you that. I can tell you Charos got links to the Zulu monarchy and all of that. I can tell you that. I know people who got links to the Zulu monarchy. So, can I ask you a question then? If the shit had to hit the fan in KZN, in terms of Indian black or civil war or something like that, as the unrest, would you rather be with the ANC, DA or IFP, EFF? Okay, let's do the four. If the shit hit the fan, in terms of Indian-African relationships and civil unrest, so to speak, if you had to choose between the ANC, EFF, DA and IFP, who do you think would have your back to some extent? Who will have your back? I'm talking about Charos. The Zulu King stood up for the Indians and I think he's IFP, says DM. Well, DM always seems to be a IFP guy. He seems to be. We choose Casey to have our back. Listen, I'm out of this political game because I'm in court for the same reason. I'm in court because I stood up. Joyce Dennis says IFP maybe. You see, the fact is that Joyce, who came out and said ANC shall vote, is now saying maybe the IFP will stand. So I'm not interested in what Western Cape is doing, what Joburg is doing. I'm interested in KZN, specifically Durban, eThekwini politics or KZN politics. KZN politics is different from South African politics. Now this is all my opinion. Do you think you'll find it at home because all the seem to be the same? Look, politics isn't for Casey and yeah. So look, I'm going to answer that question in saying this, which I was asking Eugene. Someone says on other platform, IFP always had the Indians back. Yep. And party loyalty is very strong in KZN, says Kritika. Yep. So, I'm not saying the IFP is a perfect thing. But, oh, by the way, I saw an article recently that the IFP is being touted as a main player in KZN. Go Google it. I've been busy. But I saw someone send me a link. The IFP being touted to even pip the DA to take over the KZN. Take over KZN, eh? Yeah? Did you know that? Go Google it. Somebody sent me a link. The IFP is so strong now that you're making perfect sense on IFP, so long as they make Tom Biryani. I don't know. It's in my sense. Look, it's my sense. Politics is very hostile and very different from others. Yes, exactly. And that's, Chappie, what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, if you have to make a deal, it's like this. If you're living in a township, right? And you got a drug dealer next to you. Okay, let's use a good example. You're living and you got a drug dealer next to you. Are you going to report the drug dealer to the police? Or you're going to try and forge a relationship with him that's going to benefit you? I don't know if you know what I'm saying. Will you go to report the drug dealer and try to push him out? Or are you going to forge a relationship that suits you? It may not suit other people in the community, but you are staying there on that road. If you fuck with the drug dealer and those people, they're going to make your lives a fucking misery. So, do you form your own relationship with a drug dealer and be friends with him or with them, but at the behest of the community and say, oh, you're friends with the drug dealer. But the drug dealer runs the road. The drug dealer is your neighbor. For your own personal gain and your family gain, you join the drug dealer. I can use that example to some extent. To show you KZN is a whole different ball game. What happens in Johannesburg, and I've lived in Johannesburg, what happens in Cape Town is different. And ANC had been killing IFP all over KZN. Yeah. Well, I don't want to go into the ANC IFP battle. That's been going on since pre-democracy, right? So I haven't even researched that a lot. The example is going to cause more issues. Well, but it's raising the point. When you say cause more issues, why? Just explain that to me, Eugene. I value your opinion. Now, I'm not saying the IFP is a drug dealer or the bad party. I'm saying analogy only. Yeah, it's an analogy to say you choose your area and what suits you in that area. That's what the analogy is about. People will say you're likening them to negative. Yeah, well, some people can say that, but as you can see, Eugene, Special One doesn't see it that way. So Special One is people. So already people on this platform don't see that I said it in a negative way. I think already at least one person that says he doesn't see it that way. It's an analogy. So analogy is choose something in your area that suits you. So I'm saying in KZN, I would choose, or would like to choose, like a party like the IFP. Eugene says, I agree with the analogy. Yeah, okay, perfect. So that's my thing. So I don't want to harp too much on it. We'll talk here and there. I am going to be meeting with the IFP, by the way. That would be great. Also loved Buthelezi. He's a good person. Yeah. Well, Buthelezi was a great leader. His calmness was personified through his party and people in his party. By the way, I don't know Naren Singh too well, although I know Naren Singh. The one person I do know is a guy named Les Govender, right? And I know Les Govender as an IFP member for more than 30 years, right? And from the time I know Les has always been a straightforward, calm, passive person, just working behind the scenes. IFP is the dominant powerhouse in the province. Eugene, you know what, Eugene? I didn't want to come out and say that. Eugene says IFP is the dominant power in the province. I didn't want to say that. And in fact, when I spoke to Les and all that, I said, dude, you guys are underplaying who you are. In my opinion. I said, you're underplaying who you are. That I think you're worth much more than you're putting yourself out to be there. And I agree that the politics about self-gain, unfortunately, no matter which party rules. The party from 94 has been very positive to support the New South Africa. Yeah. So, like I said, the guy I know, Les Govender, really good, all-round good guy. And nobody in the community as yet has pointed a finger at him. So I'm saying, if people like that I can use as benchmarks, as leaders, as people I can look up to, then there must be something there. If he's been long enough with IFP and done their work diligently, they go through things, they make things happen, they do this, they do that, they keep the wheels turning without being overtly exuberant, making statements, saying things here. They're not the populist party. And in fact, it's, I believe, one of their downfalls. I don't know if some of you Eugene might understand that. It's like me, if I go out and say things, then I'm seen. But if I'm in the back row doing things, and nobody knows me. They literally played their role, even though the ANC, well, politics was there to make them out to be. So I said to them, you're underplaying your role. You're actually your own worst enemy, that you're not putting yourself out there as this. Look, even the IFP didn't play a role or didn't come out and say, we support Indian people. They didn't. It's just the leader spoke out when he was asked. But they didn't even play that card, and they're still not playing that card to gain your vote. Now let's think about that. Even now that I'm thinking about it. Under them, we never had it. Exactly. That is exactly. Eugene. So it's those things that I'm starting to think. And I'm wondering, why did I ever see them? And the reason is I didn't see them because they weren't putting themselves out there. They were just playing the background role, like doing things. You know the guy who does seva, he feeds people quietly in his house, he sweeps his road, and nobody knows about him. But the other guy in the other street fucking making big noise for picking up 5 papers. Like, you know that scenario, like the guy who makes the most noise gets the attention, but he's not necessarily the one doing the most amount of work. You know? So, and in a way I think it's their downfall, because they're not putting themselves out there. They're not saying this is what we've done. And I also alluded to something just when I said they could very well be using the Indian mandate, like we stood up for Indians, we were on your side, but they're not doing that. In fact, they're not marketing themselves to the Indian community. Now that I'm talking, it's coming to me, all of this. They're not marketing themselves to the Indian community like we are your saviors, we can do this for you. They're making no promises. They're not coming out and saying we will do this and we will do that and we are all this. In a way, it's never been their strategy. Have you ever seen the IFP come out and make drastic sort of promises to the people? They assume they are a majority black party and won't get India. Well, actually, I don't think you're wrong, but maybe in some way you're right, Ryan. But they have a strong presence in Chatsworth, I know that, and Phoenix. By the way, the North Coast where I come from is IFP territory. Eugene says, read my last comment. Let me just go to your last comment. They always maintain peace in a sense of yes. They need to change the strategy and marketing. Well, that was my the strategy and marketing was being my something I said to another guy in the IFP. I said, dude, you're not marketing yourself enough here, dude. But look, it's their way, it's their style. I can't say it's wrong or whatever. It's like the guy who or the caretaker's one. I didn't read that one. Let me see. Was it your last comment? No, I read the caretaker one. It's like the guy who wants to do seva, but IFP, they're quiet, does everything silent, but always peaceful and quiet. Yeah. So they just they're on a low budget, like, and it's their style. I don't know. Anyways, we'll check more about it. Maybe if you want to know something, maybe ask me something, what I can go and do, what I can find out. I'm going to try to meet with some leadership, get some people on the platform, do some interviews. Like I said, I just got intrigued. And I want to know more. And I'm going to share that journey with you so that, remember, first thing I said, register and go vote. I didn't say who you must vote for. So let me be clear. I made it clear that I'm not a DA person. I didn't tell you not to vote for the DA. Whatever you do, go and vote. Firstly, go and vote. Or firstly, register to vote if you're eligible. The IFP kept KZN alive, others use KZN. I think that's a good point there, Eugene. I think that's a good point. Love and Life, your platform can help the IFP. Well, my platform can help anybody because obviously I talk to people, right? I'm just bringing the IFP up because of this. Because it's something it's my journey. I'm taking on my same court journey. A lot of people come here and say, oh, stop the court matters, stop talking. I said, then fuck off. Fuck off now. Opportunity to freshen things up now that, yes, I suppose you're right, Special One, to freshen things up. Maybe they respected the Bali too much, they kept it in a certain way. Maybe the newer leadership might be a bit more, the only government department that cares about KZN is tourism. Yeah. So, I'll go on that journey. We'll find out. I'll never use DA. They are lovers. The EFF have been making themselves very well, marketing themselves, no majority rule this time. Yeah, well, the EFF, if anything the EFF does, Julius Malema, I've said this before, Julius Malema is a master marketer. Julius Malema knows exactly how to use the media. He's a master. He beats everybody. Ramaphosa can't do it. Zuma, nobody can do it. No, not even Neil de Beer or anyone. Julius Malema knows, and he said this. He said, every time I come out or say something, you'll all hear. He knows the cameras follow him. He knows they follow, and he knows how to use the situation. And he milks it. He milks it. He's a master at it. You must give him credit. You have a nice firing party created disruptive marketing to the team. Yeah. But Eugene, you have to agree. Like you're saying, he does it well. He knows exactly that the camera, if he calls a press conference, every fucking news channel, international and local, is there. Like Eugene says, Julius is brilliant. He's not stupid. Don't ever, the worst mistake you can make is think Julius Malema is stupid. Even Julius Malema's comments about Indian people and all of that, it's all a strategy. It is a strategy. It is something he says deliberately. And Eugene is right. If Julius was less militant, and Julius said he vote for him. You might get shocked. Eugene says, if he was less militant, I'd vote for him. I've said this before. Julius Malema can make one of the great presidents, leaders of the country, if not the continent. Can I say that again? Julius Malema has the potential to be one of the greatest leaders of this country and indeed the continent of Africa. You know why? Because he's been long enough to politics. He knows how politics works. He's astute. He's knowledgeable. He knows things. He knows how it works. He knows how the system works. Problem is, he's playing to that market that he needs to play to for now to get leverage. He says the right things to win. Yes, because that's all he wants. He wants to win that. Look, it's like me going into comedy, right? If I come out, and it's exactly what I did years ago when I started. If I wanted to corner a market, I could either come on board and be like everybody else, or I need to be different. So I was the first one to use the F word, the first Indian comic to use fuck on stage. But that was my niche. People criticized me, people didn't like me. But look where I am now. 15, 20 years later, I'm one of the biggest brands. Do I do that all the time? Do you see me swearing all the time? No, I use it when I need to use it. But it was my niche. It was my way into the market. It was my thing that I needed to do to set myself apart from the others. Then when you have that platform, then you can do other things and try other things and maneuver, and then they come to see more about you. So right now, Julius Malema is in a space where he's been in the last 10 years, playing to that gallery. That's his voting market. He doesn't want you. Julius Malema doesn't want you. He doesn't want your vote. So he doesn't want the Indian vote. Screw you. That's why I don't care. If he says something anti-Indian, it gets him a black vote. That's what he wants. He doesn't want you. Why? He's not trying to convince you to vote for him. He knows his market. The ANC will win the next election. After that, they won't. ANC won't win the election. They'll win it only by a coalition. That's my prediction. My prediction is the ANC will become the lowest. They'll lose the majority. And the only way, before we close, my prediction is that the only way the ANC will continue to govern is by a coalition. And that coalition will be the EFF. And Julius Malema will be deputy president. I said it now, mark this date, 10th of October. The only way the ANC will win is by coalition with the EFF, and the deal breaker will be Julius Malema to be deputy president. Take that to the bank. Take that to the bank. I said it on this date, 10th of October, 2023. Mark it down. Chappie says predict on point. I predict. Chappie says it's on point. Because you have to be in the game to study the game, everything around. All smoke screen, all smokes and mirrors. Everything is smokes and mirrors. There's things that play. But you have to try and educate yourself into what's going on and try to be on top of the game as to what's happening. Thank you for saying 10 out of 10 that you agree with me. That means DK says I disagree. That's your right, dude. Disagree. I asked you to tell me I'm wrong. You disagree. Good for you. We'll see next year. Right? 5 days, my birthday. I will remember. Right, thank you for watching, guys. Say your good nights and thanks for chatting. And we'll chat tomorrow. Good night, good night, good night, everyone. Joe's gonna open the Revolutionary House again. Yep. Right, say your good night, good night, good night. Thanks for watching, everybody, on both the channels. We're gonna say good night on the other channel. And don't be rude. Facebook, good night, guys. Catch you tomorrow. 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Let me try and get rid of you here. Doesn't even want to go. Oh, you know. Next week being Jojo. What? Eugene, next week being Jojo. What's that? Next week. Oh, Joburg. Casey and Jojo. What's Jojo? Juju. Right, Chuck, thank you for watching and be good. Catch you on the other side. Until then, keep it model. 7 days a week, twice on Sunday. Yeah, Casey and Jojo, I know, man. Bye.